sleep, so I decided to record this while it was quiet. Where should I start? It was early in the morning. While I was pregnant, I used to wake up really early in the morning to use the bathroom. It never failed. I would either wake up at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning to go use the bathroom, and then wake up again at 6, use the bathroom, and then stay up. So this particular morning, I woke up at 4 in the morning, like I usually did, and I went to the bathroom. I frequently would have moments where down there would be wet, essentially, and I would think nothing of it. I would just go wipe myself. I would be straight. So this particular morning, I woke up, I was already having that like wet feeling, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I gotta use the bathroom anyway. I'm gonna just go use the bathroom, wipe myself like regular, and then just go back to sleep. So I go to the bathroom. As soon as I sit on the toilet and I go to pee, I don't even like start like peeing. Like my brain didn't even get to like tell my bladder, okay, start peeing, and just liquid just fell out, and it was just like a heavy plop, and my heart instantly sank because I was afraid that I was gonna either see a whole bunch of blood or, God forbid, something else. I didn't know what I was gonna see. I keep on looking down because I'm looking at the baby monitor. So yeah, I was afraid to look into the toilet because I didn't know what I was gonna look at. I wasn't in any pain, none of that. I looked down. If you are squeamish when it comes to blood, then just fast forward the next 10 seconds because I'm about to show you a picture. I look in the toilet and I see this, and instantly my heart sank, and I was like, oh my gosh, what does this mean? Like, is something wrong with the baby? Is everything okay? So I call Kevin. He's in the bed asleep. I'm like, Kevin. Just keep calling his name over and over. He comes in there, he says, what's up, what's wrong? I'm like, okay, I gotta show you something, but don't be scared. And he was like, are you all right? I was like, I'm fine, just don't be scared. And he was like, all right, just show me. So I'm sitting on the toilet, mind you. So I just go like this, and I'm like, look. And he looks, he sees all the blood, and he was like, call your doctor, and grab the hospital bag, because we had already had our hospital bag packed up. But mind you, this is literally a month before I'm due. So I'm like, I don't think that I'm about to have the baby today. In my mind, I'm like, I'm not about to have the baby today because it's a whole 4 weeks before my due date. And for those of y'all who don't know, my original due date was April 23rd. Then it got moved to April 21st. So my due date was April 21st, and this is 4 a.m. March 22nd. He tells me all that. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm, like ready mentally. I'm like, okay, this is what I need to do, blah, blah, blah. So after I call the hospital, I call my doctor. She doesn't answer. I instantly start panicking, like literally hyperventilating. I was very scared and very unsure of what was about to happen. So I grabbed everything that I thought I may need if I happen to give birth. So I grabbed the book bag. In the book bag it had the baby's clothes, like different outfits. I threw on some sweatpants and a t-shirt and put a hoodie over that. I told Kevin, we need to take the stroller, that stroller that you see behind me. I was like, we need to take this stroller just in case I do give birth and we come home with the baby. He's like, all right, cool. just continue to try and get in contact with the hospital. So we walked downstairs. I'm standing like in this lobby area, and I'm on the phone trying to get in contact with my doctor. I get in contact with somebody, and they're like, well, do you want us to call you back for you to come in, or do you want to just come in like anyway? And I told them that I would wait for them to call me and then I would come in, but I was like, after seeing what I saw, I was like, I don't know why I told them that I'm about to come in. As I'm standing there, Kevin left, got the car, brought it around, and I walk out. At this point, I'm not in any pain. The baby is moving and kicking like regular. So I'm like, you know what, regardless of what I saw, I know what I feel, and the baby feels fine. She's moving around, she's kicking, she's responsive to me, touching on my stomach, like everything is fine. So I'm just keeping calm at this point. We get in the car, we drive to the hospital. We get there and everything is still so like surreal to me. I'm like, wow. For those that personally know me, they know I've never been to the hospital for anything. Knock on wood. I've never had to go to the hospital for anything. Never had any surgeries, broke any bones, none of that. So all of this is new to me. I don't know what to expect, what to do. Kevin's frazzled because he's seeing me bleed and he doesn't know why. Wants to know if the baby's okay. He can't feel what I can feel. So we go, we get all checked in. They stick us in a room and they basically tell us that they're going to do a test on me, where basically they stick like this Q-tip, like a swab. They swab your cervix and all of that, and it takes an hour for the test to get back. When that test got back, it would let me know if amniotic fluid was present. And for those of you that don't know, amniotic fluid is what the baby is in when they're in your stomach. And when your water breaks, essentially that fluid that's coming out is the amniotic fluid in the amniotic sac that the baby is in when they are in utero or in the womb. If the test came back positive for amniotic fluid, then I was going to be admitted into the hospital. We're in this room. They have this monitor on me. They have this monitor on my stomach to monitor my heart rate and any contractions, and to monitor the baby's heart rate. Everything was great. You know, I wasn't, like I said, this whole entire time I was not in any pain. Everything was good. I contact my job, let them know I'm in the hospital. I'm waiting to find out if I'm going to be admitted. Kevin's contacting his job, letting them know the same thing. Because again, we woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So by this time it's like 5 o'clock. So we have to wait until 6 because we gotta wait an hour for this test result to get back to see if I'm going to be admitted. They come back after an hour and sure enough, there was amniotic fluid present. I'm like, what? I'm excited, but at the same time, this is real. Like I'm about to meet my child today. I'm about to see what she looks like. I'm about to hold her, feed her, smell her. Like I'm about to lay eyes on her today or within the next 24 hours, because you know most people when they give birth, it doesn't happen all in the same day. So I'm just like, wow, mind blown. They go ahead and admit me and they move us to my room. this is where she'll be. This is where my baby girl will be. I'm so excited. I had an ultrasound. So here is her profile. I can't wait to meet you, baby girl. I had a lot of energy. I wasn't in any pain. So I was up, moving around, just very, 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 very excited. They're letting me know of everything that's gonna be taking place. Since my water had already broke, they didn't want me to sit like that for long because they didn't want me to get an infection. They gave me this pill that they put on my cervix to help me dilate. Okay, yeah, so I got a call, so I forgot where I was at. Yes, the pill in my cervix. So they put the pill in my cervix to help me to dilate faster and to speed things along. Not necessarily speed the labor along, but speed the process of my cervix opening up, effacing, getting softer, all those things. While that's going on, I'm just chilling. The nurse is coming in periodically to check on me. I think she checked like twice at the max because again, they don't want to poke and pry down there too much because the protective barrier is gone. So they come in, they do a few checks every couple hours, and then I got up. They told me, pause. They told me that during this time, my mucus plug was going to continue coming out. And the mucus plug, just think about it as like the drain, the little plug thing in a bathtub. When you have it up, the water goes through and stuff can come out. So that's basically what was going on with the mucus plug. When it starts coming out, it doesn't just, for the most part, it doesn't come out as like one chunk. It comes out all stringy and stuff. And I don't have any pictures of that, but it just honestly looked like clear discharge with a little bit of blood in it, but nothing too serious. I get up and I'm periodically using the bathroom, and when I get up to go use the bathroom, because I have the monitor strapped across my stomach and the monitor strapped across me, I have to unplug them from the machine and keep it strapped on me to go back and forth and use the bathroom. So I'm already a pro at doing this, so I'm able to do it myself and go use the bathroom. So this last time that I go use the bathroom, I get up, go to the bathroom. They tell me try not to be on my feet so much because I am having contractions and things like that, but I feel fine, so I'm just up walking around. So I go use the bathroom like regular. I see, the mucus plug coming out, so I'm just like wiping that away, getting back into bed, and I'm laying there. I'm talking with Kevin, I'm looking at TV, I'm on my phone, all these different things, and all of a sudden I feel a warmness under my butt, and I was just like, okay, whatever. I'm thinking because my body is running hot because I'm pregnant, I'm probably just heating up my sheets with my body heat, so I think nothing of it. The warmness, I first start feeling it just underneath my butt, then I start feeling it like more like kind of down my thighs. And then I was like, okay, that's weird, because I felt like I had peed on myself, but I knew I hadn't peed on myself because I just peed. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. Then I started feeling this warmness / wetness behind my knees. Now I'm sitting up in the bed like this. I'm sitting up in the bed and I feel warmness behind my knees, and I have the gown on and all that good stuff. And I'm at this point, I feel just like how I felt when I first woke up in the morning. my heart sank and I was scared to look under the sheets. So I'm like, Kevin. He's like, yeah, what's up? I said, can you please lift these sheets up and look underneath and tell me what you see? He goes to the end of the bed and he was like, yeah, okay. Are you okay? And I was like, I'm fine, but I just feel warmness underneath me like I peed on myself. So he's like, okay. He lifts the sheets up and he looks. I don't have any pictures of this and I don't want any pictures of this. And he looks and he said, you're sitting in blood. So instantly my heart drops. I'm like, we have to tell the nurse. Get my little call, my little bed call light thing, and I call the nurse. And she comes in, I'm like, yeah, I'm sitting in a puddle of blood. She looks, she's like, oh yeah, we gotta tell the doctor. So they tell my doctor, and the doctor and 2 nurses come in, and they're like, yeah, so we're going to rush you to the OR, and we're gonna go ahead and put this on your head. And they put like the blue surgical cap on my head and they lean my bed all the way back. And I'm like, okay. So instantly I don't know why, but I just had this looming feeling of guilt, like I had did something wrong, or like there was something I should have known to do and I didn't do it. But there was nothing that I did. Like, I didn't do anything wrong. There wasn't something that I should have known or didn't know. My body this is just what my body decided to do. So they lean my bed all the way back, and then they tell me the devastating news. It was devastating to me because I had planned for this natural birth, and I felt like the rug was swept from underneath me, and the birth plan that I had planned for myself and my baby was no more. And they told me that I was going to have a C-section. And I was just like, instantly, I just closed my eyes and I was just laying in a bed like this, and I just couldn't stop crying. I just couldn't stop crying. And I wouldn't open my eyes and I wouldn't like uncover my face. And Kevin was like, what's wrong? Like, why are you covering your face? Everything's gonna be okay. I'm gonna be here with you. Like, really like being there for me. And I was like, I just feel like I did something wrong and I'm embarrassed. And the nurses and the doctors were trying to like be nice, and they were like, you know, you didn't do anything wrong. You're doing such a good job, Mom, and all this other stuff. And I just, even though I heard that, I still felt like I did something wrong. I feel guilty. I'm embarrassed. Because everything was going smoothly. I was, gonna have a regularly scheduled vaginal birth, and that's not what happened. Kevin calls my mom, tells her. I don't know how that went because I wasn't even focused on anything else except for me and the baby. So they separate me and Kevin. Kevin is still in the room, and they're moving me to the operating room. I have the cap on my head. I'm laying all the way back, and that was one thing that I didn't want to do, was have to labor on my back. And that was something that I ended up having to do. And it just broke my heart. All in all, it just broke my heart because what I had planned was no more. So I get to the operating room. They keep the operating room ice cold. It's ice cold, it's bright lights. They push me in there, and everyone is masked up, and they're like, my name is so-and-so, I'm gonna be doing this. Hi, my name is so-and-so, I'm gonna be doing anesthesia. Hi, my name is so-and-so, I'm gonna be the doctor. Hi, my name is it's just a lot coming at you at one time, and it was so overwhelming. I was just like, hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? Like, just uncontrollable. So I get in there. It felt like I was in there for 25-30 minutes, and I still didn't hear or see Kevin. So I start asking them, I'm like, where's Kevin? Where's Kevin? Where's Kevin? Where's my fiance? Where's Kevin? Where's Kevin? Where's Kevin? And they're like, he's coming. And I don't know how much time passed by before I saw or heard Kevin, but I just remember asking for him and then him coming over to where I was at and talking to me. So in the operating room, when you have to have a C-section, literally you're laying flat on your back. They came in, anesthesia came in, they rolled me onto my side, and I basically had to put my chin to my chest and my knees, I had to bring them up to my belly button. Now for a woman that's 8 months pregnant, that's very hard to do. So they kept on telling me to do it, and I was like, I can't. And they were like, you need to do it some more, you need to do it some more, you need to move some more. And I'm like, I can't, I need somebody to help me. So they pushed my legs up so that I could get my legs up to my belly button as far as I can go, and they put the anesthesia in my back. Now, I didn't want an epidural, and what they gave me was not an epidural. It was anesthesia so that when they cut me, I wouldn't feel anything. Now, they told me it was gonna feel like I was sitting in warm water, and I was like, oh, okay, that's, you know, perfectly fine. So they give me the anesthesia, and then they lay me back flush on my back, and I kid you not, within 10 seconds I couldn't feel anything below my boobs, and I almost couldn't feel my arms. So I'm laying there, and I'm laying like the Rio de Janeiro statue. I'm like this with my arms straight out. I could barely feel my arms. My arms are tingling, and I don't feel anything from my boobs down. I feel absolutely nothing. Nothing. I don't feel pressure. I feel nothing. I feel no pain. I feel nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm still looking around. I'm thinking that they're like still prepping to get things started, and then out of nowhere, I just felt like this immense pressure, and I was like, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. And Kevin is sitting at my head, and they have like a curtain. So I'm laying down, and they have a curtain in front of me like this. So if I'm laying down like this, the curtain is like this, and I can't see my legs, can't see anything below this. So I'm like this, and I'm looking straight up, and Kevin is sitting in a chair. I think he was sitting, the way I was laying, I couldn't tell if he was sitting or standing, but he's behind me, and he's by my head, and he's just like rubbing my forehead and, you know, trying to encourage me, telling me I'm doing a good job. I start feeling this immense pressure, and I'm like, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. And Kevin is like, what'd you say? And I was like, I cannot breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. Like, that's all I can say is I can't breathe. And he stands up, and he's like looking over the curtain, and he's like, she says she can't breathe, she says she can't breathe. And they're like, you have to sit down. Sir, you have to sit down. You have to sit down. And so he sits back down, and out of nowhere, I see the doctor's blue gloves hanging over, and I see one hand hanging over like this, a baby's hand. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they got her out. So they move her over to like the table. She's waking up. She's waking up. Can y'all see that? She's waking up. I think I'm gonna just go get her. I'm gonna just go get her. So I go to look over to the side, and I see the nurse going over to like the warming table, but I don't see like her face and stuff like that. So I don't know what she looks like. I can just see like her limbs and stuff, but I haven't heard her cry. And I'm like, is she okay? Is she okay? She's not crying. He walks over there to go and see her, and nobody can hear me. And I hear Kevin talking with the nurses, and it's like, oh, can I take pictures and things like that? And so I do have pictures of those moments. He came back, and I was like, she's not crying. I don't hear her making any noise. And as soon as I say that to Kevin, she lets out this cry, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I hear you. I hear you. It just honestly was the best sound to hear. Actually hearing her cry for the first time. There was just no feeling like it. Literally after that, I was asking them, I was like, I am so tired. I was like, can I go to sleep? In the operating room, mind you. They haven't sewn me up, none of that. I'm like, can I please go to sleep? I was afraid, honestly, of just going to sleep. After losing that much blood, I went to sleep, and I just remember getting wheeled to, I don't know what they call it, but the room after you give birth. So I'm in a whole new room. I don't remember. I really don't. Like, if I didn't have pictures, I wouldn't have known that I did any of the things that I did do. Going to see her, they wouldn't let me hold her because I was still coming down from anesthesia. And they actually wheeled my bed to the NICU, being that she was 4 weeks early. She was still considered premature. So they had her in a NICU. They wheeled me there to go and see her. Yeah. It was a lot. I was very sad that I couldn't hold her because I didn't know I wasn't gonna be able to hold her. I was able to touch her and see her and everything like that, but hold her, no. So because I wasn't able to do that, I ultimately wasn't able to do skin to skin with her until like the next day. That's the baby. I wasn't able to do skin to skin with her the next day, so it was more so like the next, I can't remember if it was the next morning, afternoon, evening, but it was the next day. I had to supplement. That was another thing that I didn't want to do. I didn't want her to have to be on formula. Just for my own personal thing, I wanted to breastfeed. I still breastfeed. We did what we needed to do so that she was well taken care of and I was taken care of, and that we left the hospital together. I know people say this all the time. They don't give you a manual on how to be the best parent. They don't give you a manual on how to be the best parent or how to be a parent in general. You literally are just like pulling from either what you know or what you feel is right, and you develop your own personal parent guide. But motherhood, parenthood, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I did not enjoy being a zombie for the first couple of months, but now that I've been in this thing for 7.5 months, you know, I'm a pro-ish, but I love her. She is just amazing.